Hey, this is Max. I'm back with another CSR2 video. So, Prestige Cup is on and you have the Mazda Rocket Bunny RX7 and you're trying to get through the cup. Well, let me help you along here a little bit with the stage 6 effects and which stage 6s with full fusions you're most likely to be able to make it through the cup with. Let me show you rather than actually explain too much first by running through the last few races of the Prestige Cup. I am here on race 25. I made it this far on pure stage 5s with full fusion, but I got stuck here. Even though the dyno says I can do probably a 12.8 something, my car refused to accomplish that. The best I was able to get was a 12.905 and the opponent is now running 12.8s. So I had to install stage 6s. Currently, the car is running 2 stage 6 only, the engine and nitrous. And with just these two, the dyno tells me I am capable of running a 11.7. That'll get you all the way through to the end. All right, I'm trying to figure out if I should shift or not. It looks like I do need to go into 5th. So if you're going to do a 11.7, you're going to be able to beat the final time here. And that's what's so impressive about the 2 stage 6s that I have installed. And that is the engine by itself will drop the time by almost 0.7 seconds from basically a 12.8 to almost a 12.1. And then if you get nitrous, you now drop another 0.5 seconds to almost 11.7. And that means 2 stage 6s, the right two, can get you all the way through this thing. And I had a 0 RPM drop. That's probably going to hurt. But 2 of the right stage 6s will get you through the entire cup versus the rest of them, which each give only on average about a 0.2 to 0.3, not quite 0.3 drop in time. If you didn't have engine, you're probably going to need 4 or 5 stage 6s to make it. Assuming you get the good ones, let's say you got nitrous body and trans, and those were installed along with turbo, you may still make it, but without engine, you're going to struggle. Without nitrous, you're going to struggle a bit. If you have both, you won't, and if you don't have both, you may need all the other ones. And I'm going to show you that probably in a second. Once I'm going to show you if I can actually make it through here. Now, this car does not always hit dyno easily. You do need kind of like a perfect launch. Some people use a 5,000 RPM launch and others, it depends on your state of tune. It could go every which way. I'm actually not that good with this car, but my dyno is actually a 11.7 something. I'm right now only eking out maybe an 11.80, which is enough to get me through the end, but it's not as satisfying as being able to actually hit dyno or beat dyno. Obviously, I could tune this car to beat dyno artificially, but it doesn't make it any faster. You just beat dyno. Your upgrades dictate how fast ultimately the car can go, and I'll try to see if I can get a better run in. I find it has the best results without hitting perfect, somewhere between 8,300 to 8,500 seems to generate some of the best runs. Although later in the shifts, maybe for 5th gear, I should have pushed it all the way to the end. My last one was obviously my best run so far. Now, I got a pretty decent stage 6 there. Fortunately, I already have it, so that saves me the trouble of even worrying about installing it. Again, this car is fully maxed, and there's some other good news, is that it can hit 260 miles per hour, and that opens up a strong possibility that this car will make it through Tempest. And that's definitely a good thing, because there are not many cars that can make it all the way through Tempest that's available to us. And if this car can do it, that's one of the few cars that would be able to do it. And I'm going to actually make that test in a little bit. Here I'm on race 30, 29. I was able to beat him. I ran another 11.803. Again, not quite dyno, but hey, look, if it beats the final boss, I'm not complaining. Again, we're looking at 2 stage 6 only, but full fusion to get to this point. And that is not bad. Of course, it is bad if you don't have those 2 stage 6 or the fusions. But the good news is that if you can make it this far on 2 stage 6s, there's probably a good chance that if you have a little bit less fusion but 3 or 4 stage 6s, you can still make it through this challenge all the way to the end. Ooh, that was close. But I got my points. 11.811 against the 11.826, which happens to be the final time. So I just demonstrated that it is possible to beat the entire Prestige Cup utilizing 2 stage 6. Let's go back and take a look at this car on individual stage 6 effects. I'm going to run through them very quickly without a whole lot of fine tuning, but just give you an idea what they are. So let's revisit what we have installed to make it this far. I installed only 2 stage 6s, Nitrous and Engine. Engine is huge. Let's take Nitrous off and take a look. So I'm not going to put the car all the way back to stage 5 just to show you, but let me show you where stage 6 is with some tuning. Basically, with stage 6, engine only, okay, you are looking at possibly around a 12.1 without fine tuning. That's very impressive because before getting to this point, this car was running only about a 12.8 or 12.9 with stage 5 only. So you just dropped 7/8 off of your time with 1 stage 6 and some fusions. Engine fusions are huge too. If you're missing a lot of engine fusions, you're going to struggle. I found 1 fusion installed at one point when I didn't have the car tuned at all. The 1 engine fusion gave 133 Evo, which was shocking. You rarely see that with any car. So this car is extremely dependent on both engine S6 and engine fusion. All right, let's take engine off and put something else on. And here comes the bad news. Let's say you don't have engine. You got everything else. Let's put transit and take a look. With just transit, oh, it's forcing me to. This is sometimes annoying. Oh, another engine. Gee. I don't think I clicked anywhere near that thing. All right. So with just the transit, look at how much less Evo you have. Evo determines your ultimate performance, right? So 12.8, but of course, that's probably impacted a little bit by grip as well. I know it can be better than this. Let's play with the numbers a little bit, see if we can get it above that. 206, 12.849, that's pretty sad. So trans isn't doing as much as I hoped it would. But it should do better than 12.84. Oh well, maybe it's a tire grip issue. Let me play with this a little bit. Oh, there we go. I knew it was better than that. So here we go. 12.7 from a 12.9 is about where it initially started. You could probably get it higher. I think it's about 4/10 is what I saw. 3/4. Yep, there it is. Okay, so it's about a 3/10 drop. And that's not fine tuning it. If you fine tune it, you may be able to eke out a little more. In the interest of time, I'm just going to move on to the next one. So that's your transmission. Transmission's not bad. However, transmission is not good enough in combination with engine to make it through. At least I wasn't able to. Now, it doesn't mean that you may not find it, but transmission and engine would drop the time somewhere to 11.9 to 11.8 range. If you tune it really well, maybe 11.8 something, but you got to get a low 11.8, and that's kind of hard with this car. So here you have tire. That comes in almost at the same Evo as trans, so they're pretty close. Without fine tuning too much, I can tell you that this is probably about where you're going to get a 12.6 out of just tire. So trans and tire together should be able to get you to about a 12.4, but you're still a long ways off from getting to 11.8. So trans and tire certainly, while it's nice, isn't the greatest to have. So here I'm throwing in body. Body is a pretty good one, but notice again, Evo changes are minimal. We can play with it, see if we can get it higher. Doesn't seem to be pushing much beyond where we had it, but let's try it this way, see if that'll help. Not really. 1075, but slightly faster than tire. Okay, so body, tire, trans, pretty close on the level there. Nitrous and engine, obviously huge. And traditionally, we know turbo and intake is going to be miserable, but let's take a look at nitrous again, just to show where that get. You know what? I think I showed you nitrous. Let me go back and show you engine real quick. Let's go right to engine. We'll do turbo and intake, but I can tell you intake basically does nothing, as usual. All right. Oh, no, I showed you engine, right? I did. So let's go back and show you. Let's go back and show you nitrous. Sorry. I'm getting confused over here. So let's just take a look at nitrous real quick. Nitrous is pretty good. Nitrous is going to beat the other ones we just looked at, trans, body, and all that, because this gives you this guy here with a lot more duration. And you can see the Evo is already 100 more than what it was before. Without crazy fine tuning, you can play with the tire a little bit and see if that helps. And then obviously the rest goes to tweaking this. 1176. Okay, without further fine tuning, that drops you to 12.4. So it's at least a tenth quicker than body, which is the next best one. And then tire and trans, tires maybe edges out trans, maybe not. You'd have to tune it to really find out. And then we come to the bottom of the list here, which is going to be intake and turbo. Now, turbo actually didn't turn out to feel as terrible as it would have been otherwise, but intake, though, is actually not as bad as you think. So it looks like intake turbo is actually pretty even too. Well, what does that mean? That means that if you add intake turbo, trans, tire, and body, that should push you somewhere into the high 11s. But it probably won't be enough to get you all the way through. And again, fusions. If you don't have the fusions, you're not going to be able to do much. Here, the numbers didn't change too much, so you can tell that the performance isn't going to be that much different either. So somewhere around the 12.6 with just turbo and just intake. So they're pretty much even with each other. So that is the basic situation. You can beat the entire thing with 2, or you're going to need a lot more. And a lot more is, let's put intake, let's put tire, well, trans, tire, body. Okay, so that's 5 of the stage 6s out of the 7. 11846. It's basically dynoing what the other 2 would be able to do. Although I haven't tweaked it, let's try to eke some more points out of this. Should be able to drop the tire grip a bit and still get more, or not. 11.6. So 11.802. Can we get more out of this? Well, some fine tuning maybe in order here. That may be able to squeeze out that extra ounce or 2. Oh, that looked higher. Boom, 11.757. There it is. Okay, so 11.757, which should be able to beat the final time as well, but that's with all 5 stage 6 and all the fusions that are associated with it. That's a lot of fusions. And even then, it's only cutting it close. Now, can it actually hit the time? Maybe not in my hands. A better driver probably could. I tend to not get the best runs out of this car. Usually like few hundreds behind based on what the dyno should be able to do. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed. What did I get? 11815. That would beat the final boss. It's, you know, the final run in the PC Cup, I should say, not the final boss. But at least it'll make it. But that's, again, with all 5 of the other ones. So there you go. There's your stage 6 situation. You're looking at a car that basically needs most, if not all, of its stage 6s to get through the Prestige Cup if you do not have engine and nitrous. If you have engine and nitrous, however, you can get through just on those 2. So keep your fingers crossed and hope that the crates are favorable and give you what you're looking for. Now I'm going to show you another nice set of things about this car, and that is the fact that it can hit the 260 mile per hour target time in Tier 4, which is a big deal because not many cars in this game can do that. Especially for Tier 4, it's been rather difficult to hit any kind of target time with this car. So 260 mile per hour is right around 2.33 final drive to end in 4th gear. Then you want to make sure that you're giving the car the minimum amount of resistance on the top end as possible from the tires. It says 251. I think I may want to try to eke out a little higher than that. 253 would be more comfortable. Maybe a 7.0 nitrous. 252.5. You don't want to make it too long either, because at some point it becomes less effective to have more. So I need to hit 260. So I don't want to go too crazy here either. Let's go back to 2.30, right? Which technically will give you a 252. Let's see if we can hit 260 here though. As long as the car's on nitrous near the very end, it should be able to make it, but it's going to be kind of close. This is a fully maxed car to eke out a 260 mile per hour run out of it. So you can't expect to pull this off with a less than fully maxed car. Meaning, if you have a car that's barely there and you're missing stage 6s and fusions, don't expect to make this. It's not going to do it. I didn't do it there either. 258. So 258.8, it's pretty close. This is what I'm saying about nitrous. Let's do this. Let's put the nitrous a little more aggressively, right? It does say that, in fact, it's not going to do as well, but that doesn't mean it won't do it. Try again. This is going to be the hardest part of the challenge. You have to hit 260. Now, there is a 250 mile per hour challenge, I believe, at 658 pp, which is going to be challenging with this car as well, but not as bad as this one. This challenge here is the ultimate test of whether this car is going to be able to do the job, and it really should be able to, because it does have the power. And oh, so close. 259. Come on, I know you can do it. Oh, it did it. 260, 145. Whew. Man, that was tight. But yes, so it's a push to get 260 out of this car. However, notice the 1.4 something 0 to 60 shouldn't be that hard, unlike the 260 mile per hour thing. So if we put this car to a better grip status, okay, it's interesting. It actually tells me it was better with less grip for some reason. Yeah, look at that. Notice how that is better with less grip? Well, let's see if it lives up to that. So this typically means launching and hitting nitrous right away to get the best 0 to 60 you can out of it, right? 0 to 100 is a 4.278. That should be no problem if you can hit that 0 to 60. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to let go and hit nitrous. Woo! 60. Done. All right. That should do it. I mean, that looked like it was a really quick acceleration to 60 mile per hour. So let's take a look, see where we ended up at. Come on, 1.4. Yes, 1.378. So it actually did what the dyno said it would do. That's great. And that's even without that much grip. How about that? I'm impressed. I'm actually surprised, but that's a good thing. All right, so let's drop it down a little bit. If you go to 650 APB from the max 671, you should be able to then do, you have to do the 250 mile per hour, which might be an issue. Now, the biggest PB drops are not necessarily the ones you want to get rid of. We know that all these stage 6s kind of have a similar effect on things, but you're looking for speed trap, right? Not necessarily looking for the best acceleration. You're looking for the highest speed you can possibly eke out of it. And that means you should be able to do it with certain stage 6s dropped and not necessarily focus on time. We don't care about the time. The car will run whatever it runs. What I care about is whether it can hit 250 something mile per hour. So right now the computer is saying, well, you're not going to hit 250 because you're at 232. What if I'm on nitrous the whole time, 236? There's a balance somewhere that it may work out in your favor that you should still be able to hit the 250 mile per hour. This is going to be tricky again. Maybe that the tire is a lot more important than I thought. Let's go back and take a look at the tire and trans situation. Let's put trans back in, and instead let me try to drop some body instead. Ooh, 658, right on the mark. I like it. This will leave us the grip from the tire, the shift speed from the trans, and the only thing we dropped is body, and the speed is a little better, 240. 240 is close enough to 250 that I have a feeling we may be able to eke this out. 240.5. That's a 10 mile per hour difference. Now, the 240 mile per hour challenge, you can obviously get done here. So the question is whether I can hit that 250. All right, let's try it. Now, to get the nitrous to work at the very end, it's a combination of hitting it early enough to get the speed and hitting it late enough to kind of keep it on nitrous near the end. Now, I hit probably 1 second or so too late, which gives me a 249 instead of a 250, but it's close enough that I think I can do it. Let's try again. So this is a kind of test and tuning you have to do when you're trying to figure out these things on your own. You can't just rely on one run and boom, I got it magically. It doesn't work that way. But the good news is so far this car has been living up to expectations that it will beat Tempest 3 Tier 4 all by itself. And that's the key here. It can do it without switching cars. Unlike some of the other ones where you have to switch. Come on, now nitrous ran out. All right, so I need to either tweak nitrous or I'm going to have to use it a little bit later. Let's try tweaking it first, which says it'll give me more. And this way I can still launch it right around third gear and let it run kind of all the way through third and fourth. So when you don't see me making videos, you know, when I'm doing test and tuning, this is actually what happens. You're not going to get this kind of stuff done in one run. It looks great on video when you can get it in one run and everybody's like, wow, that's great. But before you get to that point, you're obviously testing and tuning a lot to get to where you, oh man, this is not working out for me. So you have to test and tune a lot to get to the point where you're actually going to get the target. So I think the struggle here is you're going to have to go the other way. Okay. Yes, it looks like it's going to go slower, but here's what's going to happen is I'm going to be running this car onto nitrous a little bit later, but it'll push harder, and that could potentially get you through to the end with the 250 rather than 247. So once again, this is what, test number 5? So you're going to do a lot of test and tuning if you're trying to figure out this kind of stuff on your own. All right, so I want the nitrous to be on all the way to the end, and it's out. Nope, that's no good. Shifted too early. $247 seems to be stuck there. Let's try some a little different. I've now put the tire to 60/40, still running the same kind of final gear ratio. The nitrous isn't any different really by much. I put it 2 points longer. What I'm going to try to do is see if I can let the lower grip at the end help with the acceleration. And start at 7,000 rather than earlier. And come on, fingers crossed. Let's go. Yes, 250. So a little bit less grip allows it to push a little harder at the end there. Using the nitrous just a tad later gets it right on the spot. And there you go, 250 miles per hour at 658 pp. And then 640 is going to be a 230 mile per hour. Since body didn't impact things as much as far as acceleration, I'm going to go ahead and drop that to 0, to stock. And then look for other things to drop. At this point, I'm thinking I may have to drop turbo, stage 6, intake, stage 6. One thing I'm definitely not going to be dropping the stage 6 off of is nitrous and engine. Those are staying. So now the big selection is going to be, is it going to be trans or tire? Interestingly, my traditional feeling is that you can get rid of tire without a problem, but this car somehow, you know, sometimes it's good to have the tire at 6. Beats me, why? Well, in this case, it looks like I can't get away with either one. So we're down to all stage 5 except for engine and nitrous to get to 640 pp. Target number 230 mile per hour, which means it's here somewhere. Again, nitrous is still there. Let's take a look what the computer says we can do. 216. Oof. Not making my life easier. Everything's always going to be under. But again, 14 mile per hour difference. Let's see if nitrous can push you through once again. Might have to drop other things and then add in tire, add in trans. I haven't played with it too much, so this is, you're actually watching me tune on the video, which I normally don't do. I usually tune the car ahead of time and then make videos. So here, you're watching me struggle with the tunes, just like most people would be when they first start messing with it, rather than watching the end result where I already know what the results are. Come on, 230. Nope, not going to do it. We're out of nitrous. So 230 mile per hour, right now it's a struggle. 225, I hit 225. Tweak this down just a little bit. But now I'm going to try this way. A little extra nitrous and use it a little bit extra early and see if that will help us. 219. Theoretically, that should be better, but the issue is that you run out of acceleration before you get to the end of the track with less nitrous pushing the acceleration. So it's always a balancing act. You're kind of playing this way, playing that way. It doesn't quite get you what you want. All right, let's do this again. Now this time with the additional duration on nitrous, I can actually start the nitrous in second gear, third, and watch it run all the way through fourth. Now 230 is the goal. We're going to run out of nitrous. But I think we're there now. Now I'm not going to use it in second. I'm going to use it starting in third, and I have confidence that it'll come very close to 230 mile per hour now, provided I don't run out of track. So let's do it one more time. Test number 115. Okay. First gear, second gear, nitrous, fourth gear. So this is the gear. Either we're gonna run out of track or we're not. Yes, we are. All right. So the problem with the longer duration nitrous is that you're not accelerating as hard. It did hit 226, which is great, but it didn't hit to where I want it to be, which is 230. So I'm actually going to reverse this and do it this way with shorter nitrous. This will be something where you're not going to hit nitrous until almost the middle to end of third gear, and then just watch it push through on fourth gear. Let's see if the extra acceleration with the nitrous will be sufficient to pull that off. So this car will be able to do it, but it so far has been more of a struggle to get through Tempest 3 challenges than, say, the HPE even, which does it quite well. All right. Nope, not quite yet. Boy, this 230 is eluding me here. Revisit the parts setup. So 230 is not reachable yet. So we need to kind of consider what is possibly needed. Let's try a little bit less transit tire, which is one of my traditional methods. And let's add back in more power. But if I can get more tires in, I will. There's always that one stage of body you can throw in too. Okay, 640. Let's do it again. Let's take a look at where the computer, 218, definitely better. So a little extra power is going to help us. Now I'm a little more confident we're going to get very close to getting this done. 219. 219 is only about 11 miles per hour off from the final time. This should be the ticket. Let's do this. All right, launch. Now remember, I can't use the nitrous until about middle of third gear, a little past 7,000, because otherwise it's just going to run out too quick. And this is even cutting it close. Yes, 230 miles per hour, done. Whew, that took a while. 230, 12.9. Okay, lots of tuning involved with this car, huh? But guess what? This is what makes it fun for me. I love this. I don't even mind doing this for hours at a time where I'm making no PP, but I mean no RP for my crew, but they wouldn't be too happy with me if I keep doing that. However, playing like this gives you a lot of experience in tuning, and if you learn how to do this, the game gets easier down the line. You will eventually get to a point where you kind of go, oh yeah, I can do this, I can handle that. And then you won't be relying on other people's videos as much to get what you need to have done. All right, so 630 PP point is the next one. At this point, you're going to have to start dropping stage 6. There's no way around it. The question is, do we drop 2 intakes or do we drop a stage 6 turbo? Looks like it's better to do the intake because it gives a little bit less overall drop in the points. And once again, I'll see if I can sneak that body back in. Haha, yes. All right, Evo points look good. Now at 630, you only need to hit 210. Come on, don't give me a 190 mile per hour, okay? It's got to be able to do at least 200. Oh yeah, now it gets easier because actually you can do this, and there's your 210. If the computer's saying you could do 210, you could definitely do 210. Okay. Whew. I'm not going to waste another 15 runs to show you how this is going to do 210, right? Let me try to accomplish this in one run. Yes, one run. Oh, man. Come on. 630 pp. One run to get 210. Don't fail me now, Barbie car. Come on, let's go. Yes. Second gear. Third gear. Nitrous. And fourth. 210. Here we come. Got to be able to do 210, right? 210, 210, 210, 220. All right. Done. Okay. Didn't embarrass myself too much on that one. Whew. Okay. Now, down to 625 pp. All right. That shouldn't be hard to get with just dropping off another stage or two of intake, right? So that will get us to about 625, and you only have to hit 190 mile per hour. Should be easy. Let me squeeze off some points right here. Actually, I'll just use that turbo because that was quite a few points if I remember. Oh, look at that, 5 points. And the Evo went up. Hey, all good signs. All right, so this is kind of a long, tedious video so far. If you got to skip around, but we're actually at the end. I should have said that earlier. But if you suffered through this whole video, you see exactly how I tuned the car, how I discovered the particular tuning aspects and what I'm looking for. So playing around with different settings is important. You don't want to just put one setting in and go, okay, that must be the working one, because sometimes it's not. Dropping tire and trans early actually hurt me, and it looks like it's better to drop it late and let it push through that way. I can't believe I screwed that up, but it still did 208. You only had to do a 190. All right. Okay, so I've demonstrated to you this is no problem. That is doable. This car can accomplish everything in Tempest 3 Tier 4. And that's a lot of work to do it, but it's doable. Now, you're probably going to want a cleaner video than this one to actually do the Tempest 3 challenges stuff. I will make another video where I'm going to kind of put the particular settings together a lot more concisely and give it to you that way. But here you watch me kind of suffer through a ton of tuning to get to show you that this car can in fact do Tempest 3 Tier 4. If I had this car and this is the process I would have gone through to make it through to the point that we're at this point in the video. Tuning is fun. I mean, I know it can be frustrating. Sometimes it's just annoying. But once you get the gist of how this game works with tuning, you can tune the cars, various cars, based on what you observe happens when different parts interact. And that is why I like playing this game and tuning and have fun actually with the tuning. Well, it's been a long video. I think I'm going to cut it off at this point. I appreciate your patience in getting this far in the video if you in fact watched all the way and didn't fast forward the last 20 minutes. But it is a good car. This is a very good car. It can do the PC Cup with 2 stage 6 or 5 of the other one, but it needs a lot of fusions. Or if you have 3 in combination or 4 in combination, as long as it has engine, you'll get through the PC Cup. I have other account where I have engine, I have nitrous, and I have trans, and I'm pretty close to getting through, and I'm not at full fusion. So that's the good news. This car, in addition, brings another piece of great news in that it can, in fact, beat Tempest 3 Tier 4. Now, it is the 3rd car out of the series that can do the job. So you have NSX, HPE, and now Rocket Bunny RX7. Why am I not mentioning all the paid cars? 1, Fast and Furious events are over. Good luck getting those cars now. And 2, not everybody has it. So everyone who is starting now, or people that played for a while and didn't want to pay all the money for the FNF cars, they are looking at these cars. And this is your opportunity to get this car maxed. How do you get it maxed? Well, you're going to have to spend a lot of keys. This gives you these. I got so lucky today, I almost fell out of my chair this morning when I was polling because I only polled 5 crates and got both of my final 2 stage 6s. That is unbelievable. Great luck. And on my other account, I polled all 7 crates and got only the loyalty stage 6. So who knows? Maybe you'll get lucky, maybe you won't. This car is not going to be easy to max after this season's over. If you don't spend your keys now, you can forget about getting this car maxed quickly after this because Mazda Fusions cannot be obtained anywhere else except from keys. So you're going to be playing a waiting game, especially for those final few epics. One of the things that did help me a lot is I did do the Fast and Furious event with the Veilside RX-7, and buying those crates and doing that gave me a ton of fusions that I could have swapped over and did swap over. Cost me some gold. I would have been up to about 26,000 gold right now if I wasn't spending it all. But anyway, we're here with another car that can beat Tempest, that can do very well in live, and it's all around a great car. I named it Barbie because it's pink, and I changed my name to Fear the Barbie. So see me in live, that's me. I am going to trade with you if you want to trade, but I will also be taking that first win if I can from you. So if you see me out there, feel free to race with me. If you want to trade with me, I do reward at the end of my trades if it's longer than 10 races. Usually when I cut it short, it's not because I don't want to race with you. It's because something came up and I have to kind of run off, or my device crashed. That's usually the reasons why I stop a trade. Okay, anyway, this is going to be one of the videos I'm going to put up, and I probably won't be putting another one up for at least a week because I'm actually going to be traveling. And when I come back, I'll catch you then. Feel free to comment on the video. As always, ask questions if you have them. I will make a different video with more concise Tempest 3 setups for this car, like I said. So don't worry if this one's too confusing for you. Please subscribe to the channel so you can get notifications when I put up these videos. And as always, thank you for watching, and particularly for this one, thank you for your patience in watching the video.